Hey guys, this is Harsh from Shout Me Loud, and today I have something that I never thought I would do, but eventually I was talking to one of my good friend, Karan Batra, and he suggested me that this is something going to be very helpful for you and for him as well, of course. So in this video, I'll be showing you how I exactly publish the post, what things I do, and that might give you a idea of how other bloggers are working. Maybe you can take away few things that you might not be doing and might help you. So let me go through it and exactly tell you what I do. So basically, what how I start is I start writing blog post. I forget the title. Title is the last thing that I bother about. I mean, the first thing that I think, like, what topic I'm gonna write about. I mean, I'm also not considering the SEO here. I'm considering the point that the topic I found something very interesting, and I think that's already useful for me, and that's going to be useful for my blog readers. So that's how I start. So I'm taking an example of the post that I was doing today, and it's gonna go live tomorrow. I'll add the link in the description if you want to check out. And this is how I start. So the plugin is Evergreen Post Twitter WordPress plugin. Now the idea was, like, in this case, I installed the plugin, tried it on my blog, and then started writing about it so that I give a complete idea of how this plugin works. Now, the first thing that I start with is to talk about the pain point, talk about the things that a blogger can relate to. I mean, why this plugin is useful for. If I just simply go ahead and pitch about the plugin itself, that might work, but think from next level. Like, if you talk about the thing like, hey, are you missing the traffic, or are you missing driving content to your old blog post? I mean, that's a pain point for everyone. That's a pain point for me. So that way your readers can relate to it. I mean, it depends on what topic you're writing on. If you're writing on tech stuff, let's say you're writing up on how to download YouTube videos, you can start writing with, like, streaming videos on YouTube is a pain. How about you can download the video and start watching it? I mean, that's how you can start. That's my rule, and that's what I follow. And so initially, that's how I start writing. Now, few things, once I'm done writing, the first thing that I do, like, I give a heading. Like, I try to make my content scannable. Like, there are people who might not be interested in reading all the the complete blog post. They just want to scan the crust of it, and that's it. That's enough for them. So in that case, add a S2 heading, add a S3 heading, and that's it. Now, one mistake that we might I used to make, and what I used to do, I used to, like, repeat my S2 and S3 tag. And why I used to do that? Because my S2 tag is, like, bigger than it makes the post look good. So in that case, that's a good thing to make your post look good. But the thing is, it has a SEO implication. Using too many H1 and S2 tag does not give you good SEO value. And one rule of on-page SEO is use proper heading tag like H1, S2, S3. So your post title is already H1. Then you use S2, and then you can use H3. So I have not used S3 over here because it was not required, but maybe I can just, like, add something like conclusion. So if required, I mean, if this is a very targeted post, I would also add my keyword over here, but in this case it's not required because it's more of a personal post. That is one thing. Then the second thing, which is very important, like alt tag of the image. Like, you need to make sure the image alt tag is something which is relevant to the post itself. It should not be something like img004 the jpeg or something like that. So that's very useful. So once you're done writing the post, of course, proofreading is very important. What I recommend is, don't proofread right away. Wait for an hour or 2 hour, take a break, and then come back and read the post with completely refreshed mind. I mean, that ways you can actually figure out the errors or mistakes that you have made in the post. Another important thing is internal linking. The internal linking is important for many reasons. One, it have the SEO benefits, so that when search engine bots come and see your blog post, they can go to the another post and crawl and index it. So here is how I add the internal link. So I click on insert add link, just type my keyword, and that's it, it's all done. If not that, I also use one plugin called WordPress Insight, which I don't see here right now, so I've not been using that for a while. I mean, that's a very good plugin, so I'll add the link to that video also, so you should watch it. That's a very useful plugin at the same time. So once I'm done like internal linking, the second thing is like select the category. So in this case, this post is about WordPress. Add proper tags, and when you add the tags, think from the point of view that you don't need like too many tags are not useful for search engine, they are useful for your readers to navigate your blog much better. So use those tags that you are going to use again and again, or use those tags that you have already used on the blog. After that, the most important thing is your meta description and meta title. So by default, if you don't make changes, your meta title would be the same as your blog post. Now think like maybe search on search engine, and for your blog reader you want to write a different title. I mean, this is the title that would be visible on your blog, and on the search engine you want to show a different title. In that case, what you can do, you can write a complete different title for your for SEO in title tag feature. I'm using Thesis theme. If you're using SEO by Yoast, they have a different feature, like exactly the same. So that's what you can use. And here's the curse. Like one of the mistake that I used to make back in the days, I don't used to write meta description like the way it should be written. I mean, what I would do, just simply like copy paste the first two line and that's it. Now think of the meta description as a sales copy for your blog post. Think like why someone would click on your blog on meta description, like the detail that they would see. Let me just show you an example. Okay, so here this is the meta description. So your meta description should be very attractive, like a sales copy that makes a reader click on it. So in this case, what I did, here is a WordPress plugin which automatically tweet old post from your WordPress blog, and here is how you can configure evergreen Twitter plugin. So I give them a reason to click on the link to figure out how this plugin is going to help them, how to set up the plugin. Now of course you can like be more creative and write a better meta description, and it should not be more than in more than 150 characters. So instead of like copying pasting what it is written from the blog post, write something very unique that is going to be very helpful. Meta keywords, it's no more relevant, so I don't really use it anymore. Now in WordPress we have featured image feature, and this is very useful. So in this case I'm not using a custom image, but in most of the cases I use a custom image which are more attractive for the search engine and for the reader as well, which is actually shown on my blog homepage. I'll just show you an example. So this is my featured image. Whatever image I've added in the this feature section, that shows up here. So maybe you can like be creative about that. So you can see most of the time I've worked with this. I really need to work on how the resize thing work. Apart from that, what I use is this amazing plugin called WP Social SEO Pro. So for long we have been in this notion that we have to optimize our blog for SEO, for search engine, but at the same time now it's more important to optimize your blog for social media sites like Facebook, Google plus Twitter, because that helps a lot, so that people like when they see your content on social media sites, they can click on it. Now understand, like on SEO we focus on the keywords. On social media site we work on the emotional behavior, where we use the power words that make them click on it. So what this plugin do is you can write a different title for your post title, a detailed meta description, and an image. So instead of like when somebody shares your blog post on Facebook or Google plus and any image they can share, this plugin let you define an image that will be shared with a blog post. So you can have a big image blog post with a call to action to get more search engine traffic. Most important, you can have a detailed meta title. I mean the graph title. This is for the Facebook, this is for the Google plus, and this is for the Twitter. And here I'll show you an example. Okay, so here is what happens when people share my blog post. You can see like every blog post comes with an image, and that helps a lot to get more traffic. And this has been happening from last 28 days. I've been using this plugin. I've added the link to this plugin in my description, and pretty much that's it. Now the last thing that I might like to change is remove the stop words from my uh, permalink, because stop words are not useful. To, and, the, a, any of those stop words, which does not make sense here. So simply done, and then I schedule this post for a particular date and I click on update. That's it. So this is how I publish a blog post. Of course, there at times there are a different way to look at it, but more or less this is how I publish a blog post. If you have a different trick, or if you use a different method to publish your blog post, I'm all ears. I would really like to hear your way of publishing the blog post. And if you enjoyed this blog post and find it useful, you can hit the like button and subscribe to my channel for more such updates. Thank you for watching. This is Harsh.